All right, man. I'm waiting for us to go live right now. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
Not sure if we're live yet.
I just seen a notification saying the helper trucker going live with something. That was it.
All right.
The helper trucker, the best way to become an owner operator.
Okay, good. I mean, I did something right. I'll move this joint over some. Tango Tracker, howdy. Tango Tracker, howdy. Lewis reacts, hi. What's going on, Tango? What's going on, Lewis? What's going on? I'm the guy. I can hear you, and you're live, my man. All right, let me get this YouTube screen off of here and get back onto the Zoom screen. Let me close this one out. Bang. Oh, man. Lovely. Lovely. All right. I'm trying to pop out the chat so I can see the chat while we in here real quick. There we go. Pop that out.
Yeah, you can see all that. I can't see all that. So
Yeah. I got you, baby.
sorry, guys. I'm under equipped. I only got my phone today. I don't have my laptop, so I can't see your comments.
All right, boom. And one more thing here, because I'm sitting a few feet back from my computer screen. Let me go. I'm gonna look this link up on my channel here so that I can see the comments from my phone, because I'm about 5 or 6 feet from the computer screen. So even though I got the comments popped out, I can't see them because I'm so far from the computer screen. So I can greet everybody that might be here in just 1 second. There it is. All right. All right, let me turn the volume down. Bang! There it is. All right. So I think we good, man. Tango Tracker says howdy. Lewis Reacts says hi. I'm the guy, says I can hear you, and I are live. I'm live. He live. We live. Somebody live.
We all
Tango
live.
Tracker says can hear you both. That's what's up, my man. Make sure my mic is good here. And Nina Ward says hello. Who is Nina
There
Ward?
she is.
I ain't never seen
You
that
already
name
know,
on here
bro.
before.
That's my wife, yo.
100%, man. 100%. Rico C. Yo, what's going on, Rico? Woody's Transport Service says what's going on. Lewis Reacts says I start truck driving school next Monday. That's what's up. Lewis Reacts.
Yeah, man.
We got a guy on the line with us here today that actually trains people to help them get their CDL. So
yeah.
Dayton Womack says what's going on. Dayton Womack says I start November the 22nd. Jay Cantu. I'm on I-10 West heading to California. Where's I-10 at, Chris?
I-10, that's the bottom of the country, man.
What, you down in Texas or somewhere?
Is that what he said? I mean, it goes a long way.
I got you. He just said he on I-10 West heading to California.
I heard that. Be careful, driver.
100%. Jay Cantu. Appreciate you being here, boss, man. Croc 342 says, what up? What's going on, Croc 342? Where's my other phone at here so I can pull up this message that I want to pull up? So look, family, this is what we're going to talk about today, man. I got my partner on, Chris Ward, Corey Jones from Louisiana. Yo, feel free to drop in the chat where you from if you want, if you'd like as well. Let us know where you representing from. But yeah, we're going to talk today. I titled this video, The Best Way to Become an Owner Operator, because I got a comment from one of my viewers recently, a comment that I want to discuss with you guys here on the channel here today. I want to discuss with Chris, essentially just to bring a little bit more perspective to the subject. You know, I am one that I feel like people that are coming in trucking, instead of offering people advice, guidance, instruction, right? That's all good. But I'd rather offer people perspective. Like I just kind of like, I feel like the more sides of this thing that you can see and the more understanding that you have, the more of an informed decision that you can make, right? Every
Absolutely.
decision that everybody is going to make coming into trucking is probably going to be a little bit different based on them and their specific situation, which is one reason why I feel like it's kind of difficult for me to give a person advice or guidance or instruction, because it's just like, it's probably going to be specific to you. But perspective, I do feel like I can definitely give you. So that's what me and Chris Ward, my partner here, is going to give you. Chris Ward has a channel that he runs as well here on YouTube, The Chris Ward Show. By the back, introduce yourself, Chris. You've been here a couple times. Introduce yourself to the audience, man.
I'm a regional driver from North Carolina. I'm an owner operator. I do own my own truck. I run under somebody else's authority, so I don't get to keep all my income, but it's okay. We make enough. It's all good. So
yeah, man.
Married man, got some kids, you know.
Yeah. And how long you been driving, man?
Altogether over the road for 10 years.
Yeah. And you're a trainer for the trainer for the company that you're with, correct?
I was a trainer for that company, but now that I'm an owner operator, I can still train in my truck, I guess you'd say. So
makes sense 100%. So you've helped a lot of people get their CDL, like not like online like me, like with videos. You doing it like in person, like, yo, this what you got to do, you know what to do. I done taught you ass what to do, now go do it. That type of thing, right?
Right.
100%, man, 100%. So yeah, we're gonna get into it. Dayton Womack says, what's going on? Let me see. Christopher Coleman says, what's good, Brody? What's going on, Chris? Nina Ward, what's up, Mr. Helpful Trucker? What's going on, Nina? Glad to have Chris's better half here.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Corey Jones is from Louisiana, that dirty South. Jay Cantu is yes, sir, South Texas. I guess that's where he is on I-10 in South Texas. Yeah. King of Darkness. You go out there, man? You go to Texas?
Sometimes, man, I go to Laredo, stuff like that, pick up some steel, come back. But that was whenever I was teaming. But I don't do much of that Texas stuff no more.
I got you, man. I got you. King of Darkness is Kentucky bound, Southern driver.
Hey, I'm in Kentucky right now.
That's
boss
where you
man,
are?
northbound 75.
Gotcha. Where you at, King of Darkness? Chris is northbound 75 in Kentucky right now. Where you at? He said he Kentucky bound, so maybe he's not there. But where you at, King of Darkness?
58/8, just outside of Mount Vernon.
Gotcha, man. I don't know where none of that stuff is, bro. I'm the guy. It's from Columbia, South Carolina. That ain't too far from you, is it?
Yeah, I know you in North Carolina. Too far at all. About an hour and a half.
Gotcha, man.
2 hours.
Lewis Reacts is in Long Island. Dayton Womack is from the boot, Louisiana. Woody's Transport Service is in Pamplin, Virginia. Well, I've seen the signs for Pamplin. Where the heck is Pamplin at? I'm not 100% sure. I have seen the signs for it, though. Rico C is in Central Florida. Hey, Montana Trailer Trash. I love having Montana Trailer Trash on my lives. I love saying her name. What's going on, Montana? Glad to have you here. She says, hey, all, just got my CDL learner's permit. It's going to happen. I can feel it.
Nice.
Make it happen, Montana Trailer Trash. Make it happen. Mama Bear, glad to have you back, Mama Bear. Checking in from South Cali. JM Stack, buy old, own. Hey, yeah. All right, that's what I did. Yeah, buy old, own. You consider that what you did too, Chris? Buy old and own? You consider your truck old?
I'm not sure.
You consider your truck old? I'll come back to him. You consider your truck old?
Sure. It's a 24. I'm going in and out of service, man.
Yeah, I hope it's you and not me. I hope it's not me.
Yeah, it is me. It is definitely me. I've got like 2-3 bars. It just went down to 1, but it's going back up now. Gotcha, I'm going through the mountains, y'all, so bear with me. But gotcha, I got a 2014 Freightliner, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe in that. Buy old and own. Yeah, until you can buy new. I say that all the time. Like, get what you can get in, you know what I mean? But hey, I want something nicer and something newer, but I ain't interested in rushing the process.
So
I get it when I can.
What, about 5 months ago, I had a 2020 VNL 760 Volvo, automatic, nice truck, really nice. I mean, top of the line Cadillac. You know what I mean? I didn't like it. I hated it. And it beeped too much, made too much noise, and it was $150,000. Who in the hell wants to pay that much money for a truck?
Yeah.
Costs more in my house, y'all.
100%, man. 100%. Croc 342 says chilling, been CDL holder for over 13 years, drove buses. That's what's up. Got an experienced guy on here with us.
Yeah.
Cease Ramirez. I'm from LA, Los Angeles, California, working on getting my CDL license, been attending trucking school. Got a lot of people on here that's working on getting their CDL. Croc 342 is from Cleveland, Ohio. Nina Ward says she's from North Kakalaki.
Imagine that one.
100%. I'm the guy. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the super chat, my man. Just Josh, hot shot, baby. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you too, Just Josh. Javelin Duckett, what's up down here in South Carolina? Quick question. Is it worth it becoming an owner operator? We'll answer that question before we get into the subject matter here. Javelin. King of Darkness, truck stop in Loves now. Sweet home. Ha. King of Darkness.
I heard that.
Yeah, I think he's the one that said he was in Kentucky. Yeah. King of Darkness is the one that said he's in Kentucky. He said he's at a truck stop. He's at a Love's right now. He don't want to say exactly where he is, and I get that.
I'm gonna come see you, Darkness.
He didn't say he don't want to say where he is, but he heard me say where you are. He like, oh, bro, I'm at a Love's. How about that?
Nah, Chris be rolling through Kentucky. I ain't telling him.
100%. Appreciate you being here, Ricardo Rodney. 1011 Trucking. Greetings, good people. Glad to have you here. 1011 Trucking. Woody's transport service between Appomattox and Farmville. I got you, man. That's where Pamplin is. I know I've seen the signs for it, but I ain't been out there in a while. It's been a minute since I've been out west that way. So gotcha, man. That's what's up. All right, so look, this is what we're gonna get into, and after Chris and I finish kind of sharing our perspective on the viewers' comments that I want to share with you guys. Then, if you guys got any questions on what we're talking about or anything that Chris or myself can help you guys answer, I got a few minutes and he's got a little bit to ride, and we can get into some of you guys' questions and answers if you have any. Okay, so bear with me just 1 second. I'm gonna pull up this viewer's comments. It does deal with in the viewer's opinion, his comments deal with the best way to become an owner operator. So I'm gonna read his comments to you guys, and then Chris and myself are gonna share our perspective on his comments and try to give you guys some relevant information on the subject. Just bear with me here for a second. Let me pull up his comment. How much more riding you got, Chris?
Let me see real quick. About 76 miles.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha.
And if my camera shakes, guys, sorry about it. I need some drive tires. They're coming.
There you go.
Starting to cup a little bit, but it's okay. It's still DOT legal.
And just to let you guys know, man, Chris and I met here on YouTube, but Chris is, I think one thing that kind of draws me to Chris is, he's a guy that is kind of I gravitate towards people or information that I deem helpful, that I find helpful, right? And so overall, I see Chris as a helpful trucker. So it's like that's why I like to invite him on the channel.
I'm a helpful trucker.
Well, I'm a helpful trucker too. So
you the helpful trucker. You're the only one.
Actually, there's another one, believe it or not. I don't know if his channel is still active or not. There's another.
Man, you better
trucker.
Go get his ass.
Oh shit. Now, yeah, he don't come up when you type in helpful trucker. But if you if you type it in and you scroll down like way down, one of his videos might just pop up for that term. But I own that term though. You're 100% right about that one.
Way up. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I own that term right there. So all right, man, let's get into this comment, man. So this is for Victor Castillo. Okay, so Victor, if you see this video, man, I appreciate the comment that you left a few days back and the back and forth that you and I had. I'm gonna use the conversation that you and I had as a conversation point for Chris and myself, and we're gonna kind of give our perspective on what you were saying in your comments, Victor. Okay, so this is from Victor Castillo. And Victor is commenting on a video that I have titled 7 Rookie Truck Driver Mistakes and What Could Have Been Done to Avoid Them. So Victor says, he starts out by saying, after 5 years, you're still new. He's basically saying after 5 years, an individual is still new to trucking. And then he goes on to tell me, the helpful trucker, that I am the reason that he doesn't agree with guys coming out of trucking school going solo. Victor says he was a team driver for the first 5 years, and he learned a lot from the more experienced lead drivers, 10 years or more. He says when he finally was allowed to run solo, he had a real good idea of what he was doing based on how long he ran teams. Been on the road since 1976, and I'm still picking up new things here and there. I responded to Victor Castillo by saying, yeah, Victor, but you do realize that you can't recommend that everyone take the same path as you, right? And there's a reason why I'm not gonna say I disagree with the path that Victor took, but there's a reason why I feel like that might not be the best path for everyone. And I'll get into that in a little bit. I went on to respond to Victor. In my opinion, I don't care how much a person thinks they know before they're out on their own. You're still going to make mistakes. There's no way around that. Essentially, I was saying to Victor, I kind of got from Victor's comment that, the longer an individual is running under an experienced lead person, then the less likely the more likely they're gonna have a better idea of what they want to do and how they want to do things when they become an owner. Anyway, I'll kind of get back into my perspective on that. Victor responded back with, he said, read what I wrote. I wrote that once the driver had at least 5 years under his or her belt, then they could think about what path they want to take. Victor says he was a company driver from 1976 to 2005, and he's been an owner operator since 2005. So it took him a while to make up his mind. It's a huge step to buy your own truck and trailer and to apply for your own authority, to hustle your own freight, finding a couple of good brokers that you can trust, etc. Victor went on to say, give yourself another 10 years, you'll learn. An individual should give themselves another 10 years and they'll learn. He didn't say it in those words, but I'm assuming that's what he was trying to say. You have a good attitude, but a lot of what you've gone through, or maybe he is talking to me when he says, give yourself another 10 years, you'll learn. You have a good attitude. Yeah, okay, yeah, he may be talking to me. You have a good attitude, but a lot of what you've gone through could have been avoided driving team with a very experienced lead driver, 10 to 15 years minimum. When I first started, I didn't know my ass from a hole in the ground. I was very fortunate that whatever driver the company put me with was a good teacher, and I was extremely coachable. Hey, I didn't hardly back up my first 3 years on the road. One reason was we hauled steel and lumber on a flatbed, but hey, it worked out. All right, so I want to kind of unpack. What you laughing about, man?
Man, he said I didn't even back up the first 3 years, man. That's the whole part of the job, dude. Yeah. If you can't hit a dock, you can't get paid.
Yeah. So I mean,
so he's a straight driving truck driver only.
So I mean, keep going on that, man. Keep going on that.
You can't just always be looking forward, man. You got to worry about how to hit the dock. If you can't hit a dock, you can't make the money. I mean, you can't get loaded, you can't get unloaded. Now, being a flatbed, you not necessarily need to hit a dock. I mean, I get what he's saying, but at the same time, like, if you're with a trainer, all right, maybe he can get out and look for you, help you back up or something. But every truck driver needs to know how to back up a truck. Yeah. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. So one thing
I'm not downing the guy neither. Sorry.
Of course not. Again, these are really, I like his comments because, again, they give us something to talk about. You know what I mean? They give us something to share with people. So his recommendation is not to rush that stuff. You agree with that?
I think an individual should do what they feel comfortable with in trucking, whether it be going with a certain company, whether it be a company driver, or just be an owner operator, or just saying screw it and doing what I did years ago and not even go to truck driving school. It was in my blood. I just went and got my license. I mean, you can either do it or you can't. This ain't if you got to have a bunch of training and stuff like that, maybe it's not for you. That's just the way I feel. But I'm an old school trucker. Yeah. Like your dad. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I'm one myself that, I believe that the only way to learn, like, you can't learn how to do anything by reading about it. You can't learn how to do anything by watching somebody do it. I mean, maybe you can get the rudiments of how to
get the
do it.
concept, yeah.
Yeah, but you really only learn it in the doing. So, as far as hitting docks, as far as being able to get comfortable doing stuff behind the road or behind the wheel, if the objective is to be out on your own, I can't see me like waiting or being comfortable with like sitting back and kind of like letting that stuff come to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I got to hurry up and learn how to do whatever I need to do to be able to get to the point that I can do what I'm trying to do. And if that's get out on my own truck so that I can start the path of getting my experience or whatever that is, if that's getting in my own truck, like I want to get through that learning curve as quickly as possible. And in my opinion, the quickest way to get through the learning curve is to do stuff.
Practice, just go.
Yeah. Now the counter side of that is tearing up shit.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. But if you don't look like you can do it, don't do it. If the sign says no trucks allowed, go to the next exit. I mean, nowadays you got GPS, guys. I mean, I'm not going to say that it's your best friend, but I'm not going to say it's going to hinder you, because at the end of the day, it does help you to know where you're at. Trucker Path, me and him both affiliates of Trucker Path. It explains everything about entrances and exits of buildings, satellite image views, blah, 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 at the shipper or receiver. But it's not always correct on what road to take as a driver. That's something that you have to figure out on your own, whether you think that truck is going to make it down that road or not.
Yeah. I would agree. That is a judgment call that you need to be able to make. I would totally agree with that. How do you feel about a person being a company driver for like 25 years?
I mean, if you don't want to take responsibility in being an owner or an owner op or whatever,
obviously he want to be an owner because he's an owner now.
I don't think that. I mean, it's a lot of responsibility to step up and say, "Hey, I just bought a truck. Now everything I do with this truck is all my responsibility. It's coming out of my pocket." That's why you save and you do your budget and you finance your stuff right. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
I don't see myself ever being a company driver for 20 years. That's just wasting my time, because at the end of the day, I've got bigger objectives that I want to achieve mostly my family related, house, land, cars, whatever. And I can get there faster being an owner while still maintaining my bills and my budget, Be smart with your money.
Yeah. I feel like that being smart with your money thing is something, and I think you'd agree with this. This is something that you can do, obviously, as a company driver or as an owner. I don't prefer to be a company driver, just like yourself. I don't ever want to be. I mean, I've never had a job that I liked, like even outside of trucking. Everything that I've ever done that, that I enjoy doing, I worked for myself. So I would never necessarily recommend that a person stay company for 25 years. But on the flip side of the coin, I mean, it's got its pros. It definitely has its pros. It kind of goes back to the main overarching point is like, it's hard to give universal advice and say, what I get from Victor is that he feels that what he's saying here is the best way to become an owner operator. And I don't feel like that is the best way to become an owner operator. I feel like I think you said it a while ago. I feel like the best way to become an owner operator is to become one. Damn it.
Yeah.
learn what you need to learn as soon as you need to learn it. And then find your truck and figure out where you're going to put it at, where you're going to work and what your numbers look like, what your projections going to be, and go and do your thing. That's the only way to, that's the best way to become an owner operator, I would say,
My opinion, after the first month or two, you already know what trucking's about, and you know what you need to do. You can't sleep on the exit ramps. I wouldn't sleep on any exit ramp, but entrance ramp to a highway, that's another story because they're going slower. But anyway, you know where you can and can't stay. You know where the good truck stops are, the bad ones. I mean, you learn real quick, So everybody's different, but I would suggest if you are going to be an owner operator, use equipment that you're used to instead of buying something brand new straight out the gate that's going to cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah.
Once you start building a foundation, then go from there. But If you want to be a 25-year veteran company driver, then go ahead. I mean, I can't tell you what to do.
Did you enjoy team driving, man?
Hell no. I like the money. I love the money, but at the end of the day, I gotta share a house with this guy for a week or two at a time.
Yes,
and it's already limited on space, y'all. If I would turn my light on and show you, I got a double bunk. I got the Cascadia Evolution. It's the best Freightliner they put out so far for that year. And I mean, I got plenty of room for me, my wife, if she comes with me, whatever. But that's my wife. I'm sharing that space with her.
Yeah, that's different.
Not another dude. Well, let me shut the curtain and change clothes while your ass is driving. You don't know how hard it is to sleep while somebody driving the truck.
Dog, I was talking to a guy a couple of weeks ago, and this dude, I can't remember where I heard this at. And when I was talking to the guy, whether I heard him say something on a video, I can't even remember. The guy was talking about going OTR in a box truck with as a team driver. As a team driver, I'm like, man, that's guy, like, what y'all gonna do? Like, what y'all gonna do? He talked about, matter of fact, this is a Facebook post that I read. And the guy was talking about, he was a newer guy. And he was talking about how, the guy from the company was gonna hire him as a new one. He was talking about his pay. And he was saying that he was telling the guy, listen, the nights that we're out, I expect to get a hotel room. The other guy that's my team partner that's been there for a while, if he want to stay in the truck, he can, but I expect to be in a hotel room. And people was commenting on his post, letting them know, it's probably not gonna be like that. Like, you probably ain't gonna get a hotel room and the other guy's sleeping in the truck. The guy is telling you that, yeah, you can have it your way, but when you wait till you get out there on that road, it's probably not gonna happen like that.
It's like joining the military. They go, oh yeah, we'll send you to the house and stuff, and then you're over in Malaysia somewhere.
Jesus, can you imagine being OTR in a box truck?
Does the box truck have a bed in it or a sleeper?
Nope.
Oh, hell no.
That's what I don't recall him saying anything about that. I'm like, what the hell are y'all like? Whoa, buddy. Like, you going too far.
Yeah, that's
like,
too close.
Going too freaking far with that one right there, man. Gee whiz.
I ain't got enough room in this big truck, let alone some box truck. And my wife knows firsthand how it is for two people sleeping in a box truck. She rode with me before, and that's her legs is on mine and my legs is on her. Is that what they're going to do while they're going down the road?
That's crazy, right? That's crazy, right?
Nah.
That's really too cool. Like, I can smell you. You in the passenger seat. Like, I can smell you, dog, for real, man.
I couldn't do it, man.
Gee whiz, man. So look, how did your training go, man? Like you said, you came straight out of CDL school. You went on you didn't go to CDL, excuse me.
I didn't go to CDL school.
You got your license, and then you got a job. And like, how did your training go? Did you started riding team?
Thomasville Furniture Carriers long time ago. So that's where my training come from. And it was a guy that had cancer and couldn't hardly talk. His throat was all, half of his voice box was taken out. He was an old school trucker. So you can imagine how that went. But when I stopped and then came back, that's what I'll explain. So I stopped for about 3 years, and I came back on the road. I had to get my CDLs again. I went straight up to a school. I said, hey, I'll pay you $600 to use your truck to pass the skills test and all that, pre-trip inspection and whatnot. And they said, okay. That was in Newton, North Carolina, Trans-Tech, awesome school. If you guys are around it, go to them. I used their truck, did my training with a guy named Neil. He had a Cascadia like this. It was a 2011 10-speed. We went to work for about 2 weeks, and right out of the gate, the first day, he already knew, like, this guy can drive. But I already had prior experience. Before that, I just basically was a yard dog. You know what I mean? I got in a truck and moved trailers around, drove around some businesses, or went to some houses to a neighborhood. But these are single axle trucks with, low flat trailers with furniture in them. So everybody's different. But it was easy. I mean, for me, I just went and got in the truck and started driving.
Yeah.
And I used my common sense. If I couldn't go down that road, I wouldn't go.
Yeah.
So I never scared Neil. He was always comfortable. His ass always jumped back there and tried to go to sleep. But it comes back to sharing a truck with somebody while I'm driving, he's sleeping. It's hard. Truck bounces, you know the deal.
Yep. I'm the guy. I see your other super chat, man. I appreciate it, but I don't really understand your question. I see it says 0 experience. How much will I drive regionally? How much will I $ drive regionally? How much will I make driving regionally? Is that what he's trying to say? Is that what you're trying to say? I'm the guy. What you get? You see?
That's hard to say though.
Go ahead. You
I mean,
are
it
a regional
depends on
driver, Chris.
it depends on whose company you're going through. I mean, he can start you out if you're fresh out of gate at like 30 some cents a mile. I mean, regional drivers get about 3,000 miles a week if you're not doing teams, if you're solo. And so, I mean, do the math, 3,000 times 0.30, I mean, 30 cents a mile. And then after a few months, you'll get a raise about 38 cents a mile. And I mean, it depends on who is how much they're going to start your pay at. I doubt any company is going to start you at 70 cents a mile as a company driver fresh out the gate.
Yeah. What would you say would be the average with a person with zero experience? Would you say about 30, 38, 40 cents a mile?
I would say about 38 cents a mile. And he would probably be looking at around $800 a week.
Yeah, after taxes and after all deductions and all that stuff comes out, right?
Right.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, I got you. All right. Let me pull up some more of these. I'm gonna pull up a few more comments here. My phone keeps going out. While my phone is coming back up, Chris just now shared kind of like his training process. Like I went to school. Me personally, I went to Shipper's Choice down in Chester, went there on weekends for 2 months, and then got in a truck with my dad like the next day after I graduated CDL school. So I didn't come in and do the traditional route like Victor is saying he did. I didn't go that way with coming in. And I guess maybe he's saying, like he said, I'm the reason why he don't agree with guys coming out of trucking school going solo. I don't really, I'm not really sure what he is saying by that. Like, I feel like I came right out of trucking school. What do you think he mean by that? By going solo, getting in the truck by themselves? You think that's what he's
just
talking about?
Just getting in and getting yourself in bad predicaments and stuff like that you shouldn't be in there. But I mean, common sense goes a long way, driver.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, again, and I would say that even unless you're extremely like not the norm, like you, Chris, you sound like you're kind of like not the norm. But I would say that like what I mean by that is
you're right.
You're gonna make mistakes. And when
yeah.
you say like you came out and you never really gave Neil a scare or anything like that, like I mean, I guess that's could be pretty normal. But I would think that most guys that like, I mean, like there's gonna be situations that come up that you're just not prepared for.
Yeah.
Like this guy
says, put me on the spot. He was like, hey, we're backing up here to U.S. mail. We was running the U.S. mail load in Jersey, and it was inside of a building. He's like, you're backing up in that building. And I'm like, me? Okay. And I just got up and took my time real slow and went. I mean, he got out and was looking, never once told me to stop, pull forward. You're all for nothing. I mean, I did my thing. And he just looked at me and was like, okay, good job.
Yeah. I mean, I remember one of the first couple of days that my pop was in the truck with me, because my pop was only in the truck with me probably 2 weeks. But then after that, me and him I was in my own truck, but we was still on the same job. So, we was leaving from the same place every day because we parked our trucks at the same place. We was picking up from the same place every day because he was doing the same job, and we was dropping off every day at the same place. So, even though I was in a truck on my own, like he was still like, wasn't that far away. He was still like right there. You know what I'm saying? But he was only in the truck with me for probably about 2 weeks, before I was in the truck on my own. Right. And I wouldn't have it no other way, Victor. I'll be honest with you, man. I did make mistakes, but again, I can't see coming in and staying until no mistakes are going to get made. I can't see that. I just can't see that one right there. That's just not the route.
I learn every day something new. I'm still trying to figure out what I learned today, but it's coming to me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I know I pick up something. I mean, I know I pick up something new every day. And I know, every week, I'm always learning stuff. I'm always learning stuff and always picking up, okay, well, I should have did this that way, or, whatever. Like I said, I don't feel like there's really no way to really avoid all mistakes. I mean, you learn from mistakes. You don't make mistakes, you ain't got nothing to learn from. You really don't.
Right.
Let me read through a few of these comments and I'll get back to a couple of things about Victor's comments. Hope you guys are enjoying me and Chris's conversation. I'm about to read through your comments right now. Be sure to give this video a like if you haven't already. And also, tell them a little bit about your channel, Chris, while I'm looking through some of these comments, man.
Used to start out.
You guys should go over and check his channel out.
I used to do gaming and stuff like that, modding and developing on the computer. So it started out like that. And then I went to trucking and back to trucking and everything. I was recording with my phone from, people was giving me advice like, hey, that's dangerous. And so I stopped that, finally got 4 GoPros in the truck. So I got a dash cam, a head cam, a face cam, and a cameraman cam. So I record like that, and then I break it all down into I started a new series basically. It's like a American Trucker series. This is like season 1, episode 2 coming up this coming weekend. So something like that. It's how you get to see a day in the life as a trucker, but instead of just one day, it's all my days. So we'll just mash them together. So far, that's what we've been doing. A few gun videos. How many napkins does it take to stop a bullet? Use different bullets and rifles and guns and whatever, and some target range stuff. So I'm just your average country boy. I'm from North Carolina. What do you expect?
Got you, man. Got you. I'm waiting on the chat to pop back up right now. I keep losing signal on my phone. I don't know, man. I got this Wi-Fi extender hooked up, but for some reason I keep losing connection on my phone. So I'm waiting for the chats to come back up so I can read through them. And while they are, I'm gonna keep on talking about Victor Castillo's comment, because he said something else that I want to address, which is how it's a huge step to buy your own truck and trailer and to apply for your own authority and to hustle your own freight, finding a couple of good brokers that you can trust. I like to address that, right? Because it is all that stuff is a big deal. But that is one reason why, like I did a video a couple of weeks ago that I titled The Simple Way to Get Set Up as an Owner Operator. So I think it's relevant to let people know that, like, what Victor is talking about is, I guess, full-fledged becoming an owner operator. That's what I'm gonna call full-fledged. Like you got your own truck, you got your own authority, you're working with brokers, you're hustling freight, you're doing all of that good stuff. There are other ways. Again, we talking about the best way to become an owner operator. There are other ways to get to that point. I'm an owner operator, and I'm not doing those things that Victor is pointing out right there. Hustling my own freight, finding brokers. I did find a broker that, that I'm comfortable working with, but I'm not going through all of that stuff with the way that I'm set up. And I'm gonna let you share your perspective on this in a second, Chris. But it is a big deal to do all of that good stuff, but you don't necessarily have. I feel like I can stay where I am right now. There are people that have been here for a while as owner operators. But I mean, if a person just wanted to use what I'm doing right now as a stepping stone, it's the perfect thing to do that with as well. I hear horror stories all the time. I won't call them horror stories, but I hear stories all the time of people having a rough start, like having to wait on their authority. Having, the insurance didn't go through, or the BOC3 is not through yet, and they got to wait a couple of weeks before this, and brokers don't want to work with people with new authorities and all of that good stuff. Like, I've heard all of the stories of those things, and I haven't gone through any of that. Like I've said before, the way that I'm set up, which is really simple: you get a truck, you register it, you get some insurance on it, and then you go to work. Like, that's it. Like that's it. Like super simple. You know what I mean? And again, I feel like an individual, there are people that I know that are cool with staying right there. They ain't going, they don't feel the need to go a step further. Again, trucking is personal. Every individual, I feel like, can have it and do it their way. Trucking does offer people that type of choices and those types of options. But again, if a person just wanted to start there, you know what, I just want to get my foot in the door, get me a truck and get the truck working, like get the momentum going, start making some money. Like, I'm not saying everybody can do what I'm doing. I don't know how difficult it would be to do what I'm doing in, XYZ state. in United States. I'm doing it in Virginia. I don't know if it's that easy to do in Pennsylvania or South Carolina or Florida or California for that matter. But like where I am, I found a simple setup that works for me, that allows me to be an owner operator. Like, you know what I mean? And there are people that would say, well, you're not a full-fledged owner operator yet. Bullshit. Bullshit. I own two trucks outright. You get what I'm saying? And you know, like I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I don't have to worry about where I'm going to get work from. I'm working steady. I've been on the commodity that I'm hauling right now for over a year. It's never slowed down in that year. Who knows what could happen tomorrow? It could slow down tomorrow. I don't expect it to, but who knows what the future will bring. The point is, I've been on that commodity for some time now. So I'm not having to hustle up freight, and I'm not having to deal with the authority. I just canceled my DOT number the other day. I ordered one because I wanted to be able to get a couple of permits that I needed. I needed to have a DOT number to be able to get it. But once I found out that the DOT number is one of the ways that the authorities keep tabs on you out here, essentially, from what I understand, all of that stuff is put on your CSA, and your CSA can be accessed through your DOT number. I'm like, well, shoot, if the commodity that I'm hauling don't require me to have a DOT number, I don't need it. So I just got rid of my DOT number. You know what I mean? So like you can go with a more extensive setup if you want to, if that's the way. But keep in mind, in my opinion, everything has its pros and cons. So the way that Victor is set up, you know, he's probably grossing more money than I am, I would guess. I mean, if he has the ability to have his own authority and get work directly from shippers, I would assume he's probably grossing more than me. But he's got a much more complex setup as well. He's got a much more complex setup, and it's probably a more expensive setup as well. And so, like, to each his own. My brother is set up more like Victor, has his own authority, is working with brokers and all of that good stuff. But one thing that's interesting about my brother, man, he is not urging me to get my own authority. Like my own brother that's had his own authority for 30 years. He loves his little brother. He ain't trying to see me out here struggling. You know what I mean? He's like, you know, I guess he sees the upside. He sees the downside of what I do as opposed to what he does as well. But like, you know, hey, you know, I'm not trying to urge him to do what I'm doing, because I don't feel like what I'm doing is better for him. And he ain't trying to urge me to get my own authority, because he sees that what I'm doing he sees the benefit in it. He definitely does. So, you got any feedback on all that I just now spoke on, man?
Well,
what's your take on some of that?
It is a huge step to go having your own authority and all that stuff and your own truck and whatnot. But some people could do it in steps instead of just one big step. 100%. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So like me, okay, yeah, one day I might have my own authority. Who's to say not? I have my own LLC at CW Trucking LLC. Okay. But that doesn't mean that I have an authority. I can run all my loads under CW Trucking. The only reason why I use the LLC is for tax purposes. Okay.
And for liability purposes, probably too.
Correct.
Yeah.
So, but the company that I'm running under their name, O11 Network, I don't have a problem using that. They take 12% of my income on each load. Okay. Well, I don't care. I'm getting paid $3,600 a load. They took 12% of that. I'm still good. What you're doing is working for you.
Yeah.
What I'm doing is working for me.
Yeah.
And together we're still doing the same job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and what Victor is doing is it works for him.
It does, and it's been working for him for 50 years. It sounds like. But,
yeah. For a minute.
But who is he to say that what I'm doing is wrong, and who am I to say that what you're doing is wrong?
Yeah.
Nobody. We can't say anything. We all still own a truck.
Yeah.
We're all still driving freight.
Yeah.
I got a damn dispatcher that works for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's my bills, my truck, my company, but at the same time, I got to pay the dispatcher to find me good loads. They've been doing that part a lot longer than I've been driving.
Yeah.
Why not let somebody with experience picking me loads and routing me around and coming back home on the weekends every week? Why not pay them to let them do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it works for me.
Yeah. Like you said, I mean, you could take on that yourself, but it's more, it's an upside and it's a downside. It would be more money, but it's more time. It's more stuff that you got to do as well.
I'd rather have more sleep than I would have to sit there and do more paperwork.
Makes sense. Makes total sense. Makes total sense, man. You know, one thing that I find interesting, man, that you know, I don't know if this is true or not, but you know, a lot of the truckers that I speak with, it seems, I could be wrong on this, like the assumption is that the way that I'm doing it, or the way that an individual is doing trucking, it's almost like that's the only way to do it. That's kind of like when I talk to truckers a lot. I mean, I feel like I'm sharp enough to hear in between the lines. You know what I'm saying? But that is what I get, not from all, but from a lot of truckers. That's what I get from them when we're talking, that they feel that the way that they are doing it is the only way it's being done. So like with me, like right here, most of the people that I associate with do trucking in a very similar way to the way that I do it. If I didn't have this YouTube channel as a way to be able to stay connected to the trucking world outside of my trucking world, like I wouldn't have any idea how many things exist outside of how I do trucking. I would probably assume that the way that I'm doing it is the only way to do it as well. And I've talked to several truckers that I've never heard anybody say that, but it's almost I get that from some of their conversations, that they feel that the way that it's almost like they're just not considering that there's other ways to do it. I'm kind of getting that from some of Victor's comments as well. What's your opinion on that? Or do you have an opinion on
that? I'm just, in a way, I'm flabbergasted, but there's no way that everybody is doing the same job the same way.
Yeah.
We might be doing the same job, as in we're all moving freight, but there's total different ways to move that freight.
Of course.
You run chips. You do not want to run chips in a dry van.
100%.
Okay. I run a dry van. I can run food grade loads, but I can't run it like a reefer if I don't have a reefer.
Yeah.
I can't throw fuel in here if I don't have a tanker, unless they put it in individual. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, every different job that you do in trucking, it's got a different outcome. Like you got to use some different piece of equipment to do the job that you're doing. Yep. I mean, it's that simple, man. I don't know what else to say. That's just crazy.
You know, I've had conversations with truckers before where when I mentioned to them, they you know, we're talking about logging, the logging device or paper logs or whatever. And I'll let, you know, hypothetically, I'll say, you know, I don't use log books. I don't have to run a log book. Sometimes a trucker understands what I'm saying when I say that, but sometimes when I'm talking to a trucker, they don't understand what I'm saying when I say that.
What?
Like
what?
Exactly. Like that's unheard of. You know what I mean? And it's like a whole world of truckers out here that, like, you know what I mean? That's just not a part of how, you know what I mean, we do things. I've had other conversations with truckers that they'll ask a question regarding something dealing with truck parking or staying in shape. You know what I mean? Like, man, you know, you spend a lot of time on the road and I see you in your videos. How do you stay in shape with all of the time that you spend waiting in line or all the time you spend at truck stops? And I'm like, you know what? Every truck driver is not spending a lot of time waiting at docks or at truck stops. Every truck driver is not going through that. There are some that do, but they like, that's not my story. It's like I get home every evening and, you know, I guess to most truck drivers that makes sense. But I do have conversations with some of them where they're like, some of the stuff that I say to them that exists in my world is totally, I'm speaking to an old OTR, a regional guy, and they ain't even know that exists. Like they didn't even know a truck driver could be in the trucking profession and not have to deal with truck parking. Right. It's like, nah, if you're getting home every day, you don't have to deal with truck parking, bro.
You got a house, you just park your shit at home.
Yeah, it's like you can get, he's like, and they're like, damn, I never really thought about that. And I guess because, you know, again, like the general thing is like when you come in trucking, you're going to come in and you're going to be OTR regional if you're lucky, but OTR for a year and a half. Company's going to run the shit out of you, run the hell out of you while you get your experience. And I guess, you know, some guys just feel like there is no other way. You know what I mean? I don't know what that is. But
yeah.
Anyway,
well,
man.
The first thing, I'm 185 pounds, 6'1", Maurice's ass is probably 190 pounds, and he's like 7'5", y'all. So anyway, the reason why he stays so fit is because he's in and out of his truck multiple times a day. And I'm sure he eats at home healthy meals and stuff like that. The junk food on this road, y'all, you can't get tied into the highway robbery and all these restaurants that might look good, but when this truck stops and you want to eat something healthy. Switch out one of them burgers for a damn salad. You know what I mean? When the truck stops and you're at the shipper, the receiver, or at the truck stop itself, I see guys walking around all the time, get in the back, do some curls on some dumbbells. I mean, do jumping jacks in your rig. I don't know. It's all about being lazy, man. Like these guys get out here for 20 years and they just get so used to holding the steering wheel, they don't want to do nothing else.
And I got news for you guys too, man. I'm gonna tell y'all all something. I'm gonna tell everybody on this channel something that none of y'all know about me. I don't think Chris knows this about me either. I don't stay in shape and stay fit because I'm in and out of the truck all day. I believe the reason I have this beautiful physique that I have and this limited amount of body fat and the 6-pack that I got, which I don't really have.
It's an 8-pack, he said.
I believe the reason I'm able to maintain all of this stuff is because I am a pescatarian. I believe that's what it's all about. You know what a pescatarian is, Chris?
I'm about to ask, what the hell is a pescatarian?
I used to tell my man that back in the days, and he used to be like, well, what religion got to do with this? He think I'm saying Presbyterian. I'm like, I didn't say Presbyterian. I said
I was thinking that. I'm thinking some kind of vegan shit or something.
Yeah. It is. Essentially, it is. I have, the only type of meat that I eat is seafood. But I've been like that my entire life. I've never tasted a piece of chicken. I've never tasted a hot dog, a hamburger, a piece of turkey. None of that.
You missing some good shit.
You know what? You can't miss what you never had, man.
I heard that, man. I heard that.
And watch this.
Crazy.
One thing that I'm not missing is the unhealthy effects of some of those things.
Yeah, true that. I had a badass double cheeseburger today, man. Oh, it's so good. But it wasn't healthy for me. But if I had a chance to eat some broiled seafood like shrimp, I would have.
Yeah, man, I'm a pescatarian, have been my entire life. That's how my parents raised me. My wife has been a pescatarian her entire life. It is a religious thing, I will say that. And my wife and I was raised under the same denomination, so that's why we have the same diet. And obviously our children are, we're raised the same way. Both of our parents raised us that way, so neither one of us have ever had any type of meat. And here lately, we really don't even we don't even mess with like dairy products as well, like milk, and starting to get eat less pizza and ice cream and all of that good stuff. Not really consciously because of unhealthy, we believe is unhealthy or anything. Like we've just noticed that the more we weaned ourselves off of dairy products, the more they mess up our stomach. Like I just found out, I don't know if I'm lactose intolerant or not, but it's like the less milk and stuff that I take in whenever I eat pizza and stuff like that, man, it just go right through me, man. So starting to want to get off of that stuff. But yep, never. People are so surprised when they hear me say that, like, yo, you never had a piece of chicken or turkey or hamburger or nothing. And never, not a day in my life, bro.
Baby back ribs, steak. Oh
never
my God.
None of that stuff, bro.
All right. Well, I like seafood too, so I'm down with that.
Yeah, and my wife is allergic to most shellfish. So the woman that I'm with right now, this is my second marriage. We like I've been eating less seafood since I've been with her. You know what I mean? So and definitely, like, I used to eat shrimp and crabs and stuff like that, but definitely been eating a whole lot less of that since I've been with her. You know what I mean? So, like, always been a pescatarian, and then getting away from the dairy, and then getting away from the shellfish and stuff like that. Like, hey, like, I think I eat pretty healthy naturally. Like, I love a salad. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good salad. Me too, man.
Yeah, man. Let me read through some of these comments. Croc 342 says, self-taught, no school, but still learning. Was supposed to be a diesel mechanic. Went to school, was still a mechanic over 20 years. Self-taught, no school, just like you, Chris. Tango Tracker at Croc 342. Where do you wrench Tango Tracker is asking Croc 342 where he's a mechanic at. Ricardo Rodney, I have zero experience in trucking. That's why I'm here to learn. Appreciate you being here, Ricardo Rodney. These comments were up a while ago, so I'm hoping these people are still here. By the way, family, if you're still here and you have not given the video a like, be sure you do. If you guys got questions, we'll breeze through them. Me and Chris got a few more minutes, right? How much longer you got to ride, Chris?
20 some miles. I'm good.
Got you, man. Got you. Dayton Womack says backing is my biggest concern. Backing was never a big problem. Backing was never an issue with me. I never had a problem with backing. How about you, man?
Well, now I'm not putting you down, but when you go when you're used to going to the same places all the time, y'all, it becomes repetitive. Okay. But at the end of the day,
was that a shot at me, man?
No, sir. No, sir. I'm just saying, when you go to the same places all the time, it gets easier and easier. I mean, but when you're not and you're an over the road driver, who's to say you're going to go pick up this shipper that you've never been before, and you get there and it's so tight, man. You're like, how in the hell is this 53-foot dry van trailer going to hit that dock with all these trailers lined up in front of me? And it's about the setup. It's how you set up the truck to start with. I mean, and you'll learn that in your training if you go to training. If not, if you have a trainer that you ride with, he should teach you that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just repetitive. Like, it's something that you have to do over and over and over again. And everywhere is going to be different. Like Chicago, they do a lot of inside the building kind of stuff. So you got to back up from the main street into the building. I mean, that's difficult especially when you can't see the dock. That's inside of the dark ass room.
Yeah.
But get out and look. Do not trust your spotter. I swear, do not trust your spotter, because he'll say, yeah, you're good, another 10 feet, but you actually got 5 feet. And then next thing you know, you don't hit the brake fast enough.
Yeah.
So don't trust your spotter. Get out and look. That's what goal means. GOAL. Get out and look.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be on Bonehead Truckers. That's another YouTube. Y'all go check out.
Yeah, 100%. And good stuff, man. Yeah. So backing was never an issue for you then. Never a real issue for you then.
I mean, at first I was sketched. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, I did what I had to do to learn what I needed to do.
I never felt uncomfortable backing. I always felt comfortable backing. And right now, the job that I'm doing right now, I back up on the tipper, but I'm not backing up to a dock. You know what I mean? But some of the other jobs that I've done in the truck, and when I say jobs, I mean, like, since I've been driving the truck 5.5 years now, the truck has been on 1, 2, 3, 4 jobs, 4 different jobs. And the one that I'm on right now, I've been on for a little bit more than a year. So you could say each job the truck was on lasted a little bit more than a year. That's the way it averaged. It didn't happen that way, but you could average it out that way. So, but I mean, yeah, I've had to back up in a to the dock that's in the building before. I've had to do that. When I used to haul pallets, the guy that I talked to that's over there, he was just telling me today, he's an experienced driver. He's been out on the road for maybe 10 years now. He says all the time, he says, man, this place right here, this will make a man out you right here. Having to pull in and out of the places that this pallet place, which I was there for a year. He's like, man, having to back in and out of the places that they send you to, that'll put hair on your chest. That's what he says all the time.
There are a lot of places like that, man. I mean, you just got to get used to it. Take your time.
Yeah. Pulling around back and like having to do blind side backs and, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta, you got your doors open. It ain't a whole lot of space, but you got to watch the truck that's next to you. But you blindside backing, so you really can't see whether the door, all that good stuff.
And that's another thing I'll tell y'all that's learning how to drive. If you don't have the blind side and you can go around the parking lot and come back and back up on the left side, do it. Do not blindside if you don't have to.
Yeah, if you don't have to, 100%, I would agree. And I see people doing that all the time, blindsiding in a situation where they shouldn't be and don't need to. And it's like, why, bro? Come on, man, stop it.
Yeah, I know some places like you just ain't got a choice like that. Like this morning, whenever I picked up, I was at a spot like that, dock number 1, right at the entrance. I had the blindside because they have a gate that comes down, and I couldn't drive up to the left and back up that way. I had to do it from the right. That was sketchy.
Yeah. I got you, man. Croc 342. It's a couple. I can't scroll back far enough in the comments. It's a few that's not showing up right here on my phone. So if I don't get to you guys' comments, please bear with me, because I mean it's some of them that I just can't pull back up. Croc 342 says play it by ear. Icy Profits, what's up, my man? Icy's been a viewer here on the channel for a while now. Always glad to have him here in the comments. He says, I can't sleep team driving. I get it. I can't sleep. I can't sleep when my wife drive, homie.
Hell no.
I know I wouldn't be able to sleep team driving. I might be able to sleep with somebody that I really trusted was behind the wheel. You know what I mean? But if I don't know
test
how
that theory, I'm gonna come pick you up and we're gonna go down.
I think I could fall asleep. I think I would feel comfortable falling asleep in the truck with you. I really do. I ain't even joking about that. I think I'd be comfortable with it. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't be comfortable with anybody. You know what I mean? I really wouldn't be.
Not a new guy or something like that.
I don't think I would be. I really don't. Here we go. Courtney Persons expediting box trucks. This is somebody that just asked a question and I can't pull it back up, man. Dang, I'm missing stuff. Appreciate you guys' comments. Andres Campos Munoz at Rico. He's speaking to at Rico C, actually. King of Darkness, small company, regional driving, 2,500 miles a week. Decent work. Icy Profits. You won't get 3,000 miles at most regional companies. It will be more like 2,000 to 2,500. What's your perspective on that, Chris, as a regional driver?
That's a true story. I mean, I got 3,200 miles last week. But I mean, not every company's the same. Not every load's the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. I'm the guy.
I work my 70-hour clock.
Which is something I still don't understand. I tell you that all the time, man.
I try like hell to explain it. He's like, man, I don't understand.
Yo, you sound like a Charlie Brown teacher, bro. When you start talking about the clock, man, that's when you start talking 70 hours, because you got to reset, and after you got recaps and all that. It's like womp.
Yeah, man. I understand. I was the same way at first. I'm like, wait, what? What's a recap? It's all good, man. That's something you just learn.
I hope I never need to know.
Fair enough.
100%, man. I'm the guy. Yeah, I'm planning to drive regionally. I want to be home at least 2 to 3 times. No. I don't think he's saying 2 to 3 times a week. I think he's saying I want to be home
Me too.
Yeah. I think he's saying he wants to be home every 2 to 3 weeks. I think that's what he's saying. You go home every week?
Yeah, I go home every weekend. Yeah, I leave most of the time Monday and come back Friday.
Did you now you're an owner now? Were you always doing that?
Yeah, even whenever I first started, like me and Neil, we would team. We would go out of town, Texas, come back home, something like that. Hell, we could be in Texas one day and Pennsylvania, New York the next. So that's hard to say. So when I went solo, though, yeah, as a solo driver under Neil, I still worked weekly.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. I'm the guy says, so 800 take home for a beginner. And this is the guy that was asking about zero experience. Yeah. He says, so 800 take home for a beginner on about 3,000 miles a week.
I'm giving you money when I say 800 because Swift, Pam, all those mega carriers, you're going to make $500-$600 a week. That's your take home.
Now, is that going to be on 3,000 miles, or is that going to be more or less based on because you're not getting 3,000 miles, you're getting more like 2,000, 2,500, which is what Icy Profits is saying.
If you're with a trainer for Swift or somebody and y'all are over the road, if you're going to be over the road with a trainer for Swift, then yeah, chances are you're going to be getting 6,000 miles a week, and they're going to take that money and they're going to split it between two drivers. So it's most of the time 70 cents split, 35 cents a piece. So 6,000 times 35 cents. But I'm not sure exactly how the mega carriers pay. I'm just going to be honest with you. I do know some drivers that told me that starting out, they're only making $500-$600 a week.
Yeah. And now with a figure like that, because I mean, I would agree that that's low, but I wouldn't say that. There's a lot of people that I've heard say before, man, out the gate, only $500 or $600. Like I'll
Hey,
just
we
stay
all
doing
gotta
what I'm
crawl
doing.
before we can walk, man. I
And well,
mean,
I agree. So if a person did, like, okay, 500 to 600 a week, for what kind of time period we talking for your first 3 months, your first 6 months, your first 9 months?
maybe they'll do it in quarters, like 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Hell, I don't know. I mean, that's up to Swift or Pam or whoever.
Gotcha, man.
All them companies. I just started out at like 38 cents a mile when I first started. So, and then way before that, when I was driving, I got paid by the day. They didn't even pay me by the mile. He said, "Here's $120 a day. Shut up." But that was old school trucking, y'all. That's not the same.
Yeah. But I mean, you need to, and again, it kind of goes back to what you just now said. You got to start from somewhere, and this is a step that you got to take. If you want to get to the position that you can make enough to start saving your money to hopefully one day become an owner, if that's what you desire to be. Like
right.
that's just a part of what you got to go through.
You can find a company like I did who's willing to put their money up front to help you get your truck to start making payments on it to pay them back.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many ways. Like you bought your truck from your pop.
Yeah.
I mean, you had that benefit, just like I did. I didn't have to go out and find. Well, I ain't gonna say I didn't find it because I did find the truck. But I'm saying that I found it, and I said, "Look, man, I like this truck. I think it's a good deal. It's had this done to it, that done to it." He said, "Okay, we'll do it." Put up $36,000 for me, and actually, no, he started out with 10 grand. He gave the guy 10 grand so he could go find him a truck, and I just moved on in, signed the papers, got insurance, went to work.
Yeah. Now, is that common, that type of setup? Is that common at companies?
It is not common. It depends on the company that you go with. Okay. I mean, if you're willing to go out like I did and hustle my ass off and work like a company dog and show them that I want more, I want to be more, I proved myself,
then maybe they're willing to put their money behind you.
Yeah, they said, "All right, Chris is a hard worker, man. I know that dude's going to be good. Chris, this is what you can make right now. You are one of our top drivers. You're making more money than damn owner operators out here with your loads that you're doing. So why don't you go be an owner operator?
Yeah.
Why don't you do that to support your family? I know it's a big step and all, but it really wasn't. It was a small step because I take my shit in increments. You know what I mean? I don't just take a leap and say I'm an owner op. I own my authority, everything. No. If I own my authority, I'd stay local around the house. I would like to help a trucker. I wouldn't even be. I might go South Carolina, Virginia, or something.
That's what my brother does. That's exactly what my brother. He got his own authority, and he's going to Petersburg, to Ashland, stuff like that, which is 40 minutes away. That's what he's doing. You know what I mean? He ain't going nowhere.
But the money, I follow the money trail because I'm a hard worker. I don't care where the money's taking me. After this, I'm going to Indianapolis after Kentucky. And then I'm going from Indianapolis to Chicago, and then from Chicago coming back to Kentucky. I mean, I'm just following the money trail. It might end up in Pennsylvania for the end of the week, for all I know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I want to spotlight something that you just now said, which is important. Like, you got with a company, you're with a company that was willing to put some money behind you, but you had to show and prove first. Right, so like I've said on videos before, like I did a video a while back, maybe a year or two ago, like 14 success tips for owner operators or something like that. I don't know. And one of the things that I shared on that video, and this is just from my experience in my world, I'm not OTR, I'm not regional, but in my own experience, I'm like, I see the benefit in keeping your name good, doing what you're supposed to be doing right by people, just kind of that whole thing. Like, you hear about sometimes people, leaving a company, bad blood, there's people that do that here in my world as well. When they want to go from one job to another job, they'll just tell the company, I got to get my truck worked on. I got some work I got to do on my truck. It'll be down for a week or two, but they ain't getting their truck worked on. They really going to work for another company. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I never did that. Whenever I would switch companies, I would go in there and talk to the person, let them know, look, I found something else that I think fits me a little bit better. You know what I mean? And I've had guys tell me at those companies, they're like, man, you ain't got to have that conversation with that person. And I'm just like, nah, man, I just don't believe in doing stuff like that, because you never know when you might have to cross a bridge again. You never know when you
What
might
if you burn
need
that
somebody.
bridge?
Yeah, you never know when you might need somebody. You never know when you're going to run across a situation. I mean, what I'm saying is a different example from what you said, but it's all the same action. You need to do right by people, keep your name good. I like to phrase it, keep your name good in these streets. Like I said, like you probably didn't know when you were working in a way where like I have integrity as an employee, so I'm gonna do the right thing, not because I'm trying to get anything from the company, but that's just because that's just how I get down.
That's who I am.
And exactly. And on top of that, it ended up working out. You ended up doing that for a person that was willing to say, yo, if your goal is to become an owner, here's how I can help you get there. But if you had been acting like a jerk the whole time that you was there, who
they
knows?
wouldn't help me.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Kick rocks, bro.
Yeah.
We don't care.
Yeah.
So you need keep your name good in these streets. To get a truck.
Keep your name good in these streets, man. I definitely like to tell people that, keep your name good in these streets, 100%. These companies, they talk to each other, they work with each other. These people, they know each other. You know what I mean? And so I'll just say it at that. Just I recommend that a person keep their name good in these streets. Do what you're supposed to do, right? Pay people back.
Most definitely.
Pay people back, right? Do what you're supposed to do. I won't get on that paying people back thing too much. Gemini for Life 3001 says trucking is an interpersonal occupation. What works for one driver may not work for the next. The only thing in common amongst all drivers is the CDLs and the DOT regulations, the clock we abide by. And that ain't even common, because you talking to a guy right now that don't deal with the clock.
The only clock that he deals with is the time that the shipper opens and the receiver closes. That's it.
That is it.
He got his own clock. He can work overnight. He can work during the day. He can work 24 hours if he wants to. I mean, that's the thing about being interstate and being OTR regional. We're not the same. Yeah. But we're doing the same
doing
concept
the same thing. Yep, doing the same thing.
We're both driving the same trucks.
T Hill, maybe you can help out with this one right here, Chris.
All right.
Says, can you talk about giving 2 free hours away at the shipper and receivers a day? What that add up to?
So you got 14 hours to work on the clock every day, from the time you clock in to the time you clock out. Once that clock starts rolling, it's not going to stop until you clock out and that 14 is gone. So you get 11 hours of that 14 that you can drive. And I hope I'm not breaking up in here. Anyway,
no, you're not breaking up.
So if I go to let's say I started my pre-trip in the morning, I got to at least have a 10-minute pre-trip by DOT. Now I'm breaking up.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I have 3 extra hours that I can waste pretty much on that 14-hour clock. I'm only allowed 11 to drive anyway. So if I got to wait 2 hours, I got to wait 2 hours. But if I'm clocked out, I'll get shift. That makes sense. So the next day at 7 o'clock, just tick down 14. And then whatever, if I didn't use 2 hours, I was clocked out the whole time on 2 hours waiting to get loaded somewhere. I mean, you got to know how to manage your clock. That's something you'll learn whenever you start working. Yeah. It's hard. It's really hard to explain because there's so many scenarios and ways. Hell, you could do an 8-2 split for all I care. You could work 6 hours and then clock out for 8 hours and then come back and work for another full shift. I mean, it is what it is. You got to know what you're doing.
I really, really wish I could dig into that a little bit more. Again, you started going into that. You started sounding like the Charlie Brown teacher.
I'm trying to help too, but there ain't but so much. There ain't but so much you can say. It all depends on what you're doing. Yeah. I can't tell you what your clock says. Hell, my clock says I got 1 hour left to drive before I hit a violation, but I'm only like 5 minutes from my exit. So I'm actually about to switch to my GPS. I'm about to pull in, but I'll still talk to you, man.
Gotcha, man. Gotcha. Icy Prophet says everyone is different. I won't run more than 2,500 miles a week, and I won't stay out longer than 5 days. I got you, man. I got you, Icy.
Well, if you're an owner, you can do whatever you want to do. But when you're a company driver, you got to do what they tell you to if you want to work there. I'm just going to say that. And I'm not putting you down or disrespecting you. I'm just being honest with you. As a truck driver, we do what we got to.
I was going to say, as an owner, you do what you want to. But as an owner, you do what your spouse lets you do. Nina Ward says it's hard watching him leave on the weekends, but I'm so proud of him becoming an owner operator. So in other words, you go when Nina Ward says it's okay.
She says, "Hey, we got some bills next week. Are you going to work?
Your ass
I
out
love
the
you.
house.
Yeah, get out, but I love you. I'm gonna miss you."
hard watching you go, but I don't mind seeing you leave.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I hate seeing you go, but I love to watch you leave.
Croc 342. It's always a better way. Some people thought I should have went to school, but it wasn't. It was in my blood. I got you, man. Got you. I agree. Obviously, Croc 342 didn't go to school. And if it ain't necessary to go, it's like it's all. Chris said it a minute ago. He was talking about something. I'm sorry, I couldn't get that out. But you said it a minute ago. Like it's all different kinds of ways. There's all different kinds of ways. There's all different kind of backgrounds. I have a lot of people that have been in the military that reach out to me on my channel that are interested in getting their CDL. Like if you've been driving trucks in the military, you might not. If you're in a state that allow you not to go to school, like you might not need to go. You might not need to go to school. I mean, especially if you got it worked out where you got a truck that you can test on, or you got access to a truck that you can test on. As long as you got that stuff worked out, you know, it's not imperative. But there are people that will say, "Well, this is the best way to do it." That's dependent upon the individual.
Maybe for them,
yeah. Pricey Prophet says, "I'm all dropping hook. I don't have downtime." That's what's up.
Okay, that's what's up.
That's what's up. DJ Ficus.
I get paid more money for my loads than you do for your drop and hook. I'm just going to be honest with you.
Break that down. Unpack that.
They pay less money for drop and hook than they do for live loads. I think that's statistics.
I think
if you got a good shipper and a receiver. Go ahead, man.
No, go for it, man. I think we got a little bit off. I was saying I think Icy is a company driver, I believe. I believe Icy is a company driver.
Okay, so I mean, if you are Icy, then that's why you don't understand kind of what maybe you do understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to put you down or anything like that.
You've been around for a while. Icy's a vet.
I wish I could get paid what I would live loads if I got paid the same doing drop and hook. I would do drop and hook but then I got to sit there and inspect somebody else's trailer every day. You know what I mean? That sounds like more work to me. Whenever I got my own trailer, I can tote it around and check my shit every day by myself. I mean, yeah, everybody's different.
Yeah, Icy has been on the road for a while. I'm not 100% sure whether he's company or owner, but I know he's been out for a while because I mean we've had conversations in the past. He says next comment, he says I sleep at ramps a lot because he hauls time sensitive freight.
Don't do that in Virginia, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. And I know that from first-hand
trucks
experience.
On the exits all the time. I know you said that, man, but
I got a violation for sleeping on the get-off ramp. If you're going to sleep on a ramp, sleep on the get-on ramp, not the get-off ramp.
I thought
but
you were saying all ramps. But it's still illegal
in the whole ramp. Yeah. That's what they said to me.
Yeah. I see him every morning when I'm going, you know what I mean? When I'm going out on my run, man, I see him all the time on exit ramps on 95. You know what I mean? All the time, man.
Crazy. I don't know. I got a violation for it, man. So, I mean, if you don't, then we're all cowboys out here, I guess.
Notorious. I'm definitely a cowboy. Notorious. I'm definitely a cowboy. Notorious Milkman said, "You never had chicken?" Nope.
That's what I'm saying. What the hell?
Never had chicken, boss. Nope. I ran away from home one time when I was like 18 years old, something like that. And the place that I was going to stay at, which was a friend's house, his mama was cooking something. And I got hungry after about 3 days. And she was like, "I ain't cooking you no fish, but you can definitely get some of this chicken that we got." And I'm like, I can't take it. I said, I can't do it. I went home. I gotta go home.
I got a spot in this truck stop because I feel like I'm done for the day.
Icy Prophet says backing is all in the setup. 100% backing is all in the setup.
And that's what I said earlier.
You need to know, main thing about backing is in the setup, and you need to know where your trailer is. That's my recommendation when it comes to backing. Like, you need to know where your trailer is, because it's going to be times where you're not actually able to look at your trailer. You're always looking in the mirror, this mirror, you know what I mean, out wherever you're looking. You're not always going to be able to look at exactly where your trailer is, but you still need to actually know where your trailer is, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Along with getting out and looking, go along with taking your time, you know what I mean, along with the setup being proper, along with just muscle memory, just doing it, just repetition, you know.
Yep.
Zozo Trucking, Zozo here. I asked about if I needed my license a full year to get my CDL. Well, I didn't have to. I got my CDL, but couldn't do OTR. So I have a good local job. Cool. That's what I want. You got a CDL, but couldn't do OTR. I wonder why. Zozo.
So North Carolina, they just want you to have your permit for 14 days before you can go apply for your license.
Yeah.
So everybody's different though. So I mean, that's what's up though.
I think Zozo was asking about having their regular driver's license a full year in order to get their CDL.
Oh, I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, obviously they had asked that question before, and they found out that they didn't need to have their regular driver's license a full year. That's what they're saying, I believe. They said I got my CDL, but they couldn't do OTR. So I have a good local job. And that's interesting. Most people say I got my CDL, but I couldn't do local. So I got an OTR job. This person says I couldn't do OTR once I got my CDL. So I found a good local job. Okay, well, that's cool. Kudos to you. Kudos to you, Zozo. Thank you for making that local video. Gary Schmidt. Hey, man, I'm enrolled to start driving school in a few weeks here in Texas. Been watching a lot of your vids. Appreciate all the real world insight before I get started. Appreciate you, Gary Schmidt, for your comment. Man back. What is a tandem trailer? Tandem is something that's on the trailer.
Now,
the tandems. What is
tandems
that?
Tandems are what you move back and forth on your trailer.
Yeah.
If that's
Icy Prophets. The Icy Prophets is saying that. Yeah, that your trailer axles. Yeah, that's what your tandems are referred to as. Man be back. Zozo Trucking. I have a goal on my flat mirrors. I have gold on my flat mirrors. You got to take to the mirror.
A lot of trucks now, the newer trucks that are already on there, bigger companies have them put on there already. Get out and look. I mean, that's what it means.
Yeah.
You got to remind the rookie, you know.
Yeah.
It's like having a kid. You got to remind the kid to go take a shit, I guess.
Man back. I have my test in November. DJ Fika. Good luck. Icy Prophets, been here since before I got my license. I'm at 17 months driving, no tickets or accidents. Watch his videos and hang out if you are new. That's what's up, Icy. Edward Vargas, sup, brother? What's going on, Edward Vargas? Got a lot of comments to get through here, man. I want to get these.
I'm sorry, we need to shut up. I just need to listen.
It's all good, man. I'm the same thing. All right, let me get through some here. Get to some more here.
One thing about me and the helpful trucker, y'all, we could talk all day long.
Yeah.
There's always something to talk about.
All right. Ricardo Rodney. I'm currently in the process of learning to get my CDL license from a book. I live in New York. Is there a way to learn by doing it on hands experience instead of reading from experience? I'm currently in the process of learning to get my CDL license from a book. Yeah, I mean, the only way is to get access to a truck and to get in the truck, right?
So if you don't go to school, I mean,
you need to have access to somebody that has a truck that you can work with. But I mean, is it that I don't know whether this individual says I'm currently in the process of learning to get my CDL. You saying license? So I'm assuming you can't get. So I'm a little confused on this. I'm currently in the process of learning to get my CDL license from a book. What I would say is you can't get your CDL license from a book. You can get your CDL permit from a book, but to get your CDL license, you're gonna need to have access to an actual truck. So I want to do
a skills test and a pre-trip inspection.
Exactly. So is there a way to learn by doing it? You don't need to learn by doing it to get your learner's permit. You need to learn by doing it to get your actual license. And the way, and again, the question that he's asking here is, I live in New York. Is there a way to learn by doing it, hands-on experience instead of reading from experience? Again, like, you can't read to learn how to get your license. The only way to
You can
get your
get an
license is by
idea of
hands-on
what you need to
experience.
know about the truck and stuff like that, or pre-trips or whatnot. But actually learning how to drive, you just need to
You
go
can't read.
practice.
There's no way to read about that. You can't read about a person doing push-ups and think you're gonna get muscles from it.
Right. Understand that.
Like, it
That's
don't
true.
work like that. Like, you got to actually do it to get the muscles from it. And this is kind of the same thing, Ricardo. Hope that helped you out, man. I see profits. Yeah, you won't make much in the first 6 months. Okay. Gemini for life, 3001. Training pay is always low until you step out on your own. Yep.
Facts.
I see profits. They give you as a newbie the loads the senior drivers don't want. Facts. I see profit. Go ahead. What
I
you say?
don't
Speak
know.
on
When
it.
I first started, my first load was $3,600, and I got
Okay.
owner op.
Okay.
I mean, like,
well, keep in mind, they saying when you first become a company driver. When you first become a company driver.
you got to go some places, but the company I ran with, they don't go to New York City. We don't go to big places in Jersey. The biggest city I had to go to was Baltimore once on the outskirts, and Chicago. That's it. I go through Atlanta a few times, but it ain't nothing, major.
Gary Schmidt asked a great question. Do you still feel like you can have a solid financial future as a company driver, or is the only way to make a good living in trucking being an owner op? Hell no. I would say you can make a good financial living in trucking being a company driver. I mean, I would, now, I ain't gonna say you could do that being at any company. I mean, I don't know. I ain't never been on any company, but I would say, yeah, generally speaking, yeah, man, you can do just fine financially being a company driver. Like any, like there, I enjoy hauling wood chips, and I feel like I make decent money hauling wood chips. I was just talking to a guy the other day that has a truck. He doesn't drive it. He's got a driver on it. And he took his truck and his driver, obviously, and took them off of the job that they was on and put them on the wood chip job that I'm doing. A couple of weeks later, he took his driver off of the wood chip job that he's doing because he didn't like the money that his truck was making. So, I mean, same job, but different response. Now, the guy wasn't doing the same runs that I'm doing. He's doing different runs. And once he told me the runs that he was doing, I understood. I'm like, yeah, the runs they had you doing don't really pay much money. But the point of that, hang on one second. The point of that is, for that guy, being where he was, where he left from, works better for him than being where I am. Whereas for me, I wouldn't want to go where that guy is. Where I am works better for me. But there are individuals that, I got a friend down in Carolina that, brings home $1,500 a week as a company driver. He don't have to worry about fixing his truck. He don't have to worry about where work is going to come from. He gets paid whether the work is there or not.
And that's pretty much top pay for a company driver.
Yeah. I
mean, it's going to cap out as a company driver. You're not going to make but so much.
Yeah. But you can make it. You should, with goes right back to that words we talk about all the time. With good financial discipline, you can be just fine as a company driver.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's over 70 grand a year.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yep. 100%, man. So yeah, I don't feel, you can speak on that if you want to. I don't feel that, I always say I became an owner operator. I wanted to make more money, but I became an owner because I wanted to be more in control. It's more so about the control than it is about the money for me.
Because now you can say, I don't want to do that load. It only pays this much, but I'll take that one because it pays that much, or it's more convenient, closer to my house, closer to my business, whatever.
So
being an owner, you call the shots.
Yeah. I like being able to be in control. And I mean, I make more money as an owner than I did driving somebody else's truck, but I would actually be willing to bring home less money if I had to. Like, I that's just me. You know what I mean? That's just me. But, so yeah, I feel that if company can work for somebody, 100%. Just depends on who you are and what you value most. That's what I would say. Great question, Gary.
No doubt.
The notorious milkman. I never had to drive OTR. I guess I got lucky. Pepsi hired me out of school. I had to hump cases though. Yeah, Pepsi work you, from what I understand. They
Yeah,
don't work the
them
hell
guys
out of
stay
you.
in shape. Every one of them got big ass
Yeah,
calf muscles.
yeah.
But y'all be sweating all the time, and I'm just rolling past you in the AC.
I'm the guy. Asked a good question. Is it true these days the price of trucks is much more than what it was before the pandemic? On the count of three, Chris and I will both answer that question and give our perspective. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Yes, I think I would. I can definitely say that I see that on my end. You got anything you want to say about that? Add on that, man?
Yeah, everything went up during COVID, man. It's not nothing. I mean, even used cars, the used trucks. I mean, I could have got this 2014 Freightliner. It's been totally redone. It's got LEDs everywhere, built-in carpet, brand new bed, comes with a TV, even came with a radio in here, double bunk, brand new mattresses, everything. I could have paid 50 grand for this truck, but luckily I was smart enough to shop around and find the right one that worked for me. 36,000 seemed like a fair price. You know what I mean? Everything went up. It's not just trucks, man.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Trailers, okay. So the company 011 just bought new trailers. They had to get them from Mexico because America during the pandemic, they're not making no more. Yeah. So we bought 2 new trailers, 38,000 a piece from Mexico.
Yeah. I'm the guy says my ultimate goal is to lease, then own my own truck. Will I be able to easily hustle, work, being an owner operator without leaving my home state? My ultimate goal is to lease, then own my own truck. Will I be able to easily hustle, work, being an owner operator without leaving my home state? I can't say, man. For me, like if I wasn't where I am right now with hauling wood chips, I have other options that I can take that don't require me to leave the state. It's not like my first option would be I would have to go over the road or regional. I have other places that I can go to that wouldn't require me to go out of state. So for me, I'm the guy. It's not difficult for me to stay working, to keep my truck working without going out of state. I've made a few connections, and also I've done right by the people that I've been by, like the place that I used to be at, the last place that I left a year and a half ago. The lady just texted me over there like a couple of weeks ago, and she's like, "Yo, we miss you. We would love to have you. We would love to have you back. Miss having you here." And I feel good whenever I hear that, because it's like, hey, all I wanted to do when I was there was work. I wanted to get my work done early. I was consistent. I was there all the time, every day. You can count on me being there at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? So yeah, it goes right back to like
leasing a truck. I don't see leasing a truck, man. There's not a whole room for profit.
I agree.
And the reason why is because, say, if you leased it from Penske, I mean,
they high as hell.
$1,500 a week for a box truck.
Yeah.
$2,500 for a big rig. That might be a
eat up your profits.
Yeah.
And then if this individual is, to be limited, like that's gonna impede things. You could still, I guess you could still find a way to make it, but then also you're trying to stay in state as well. I'm the guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's going to be two elements that you might, you
narrowed down your money a lot.
Yeah. I would agree. I would totally.
And that's why I'm a regional guy. I mean, I don't have to go all the way to California to make my money. I can go make $8,000 a week in this truck and still pay all my bills and everything. And I'm within one day's trip home.
So. Gemini for Life said, "I like this man's thinking." He talking about you. Go wherever the money is.
Talking about him. Oh, okay, yeah.
No, he talking about you. If he's from NC but taking a run to Washington State pays well, then he's going to Washington State.
You damn right. I guess.
I F's with this white boy.
Hey, as long as my wife, if she's still here, as long as she says, "Okay, babe, I'll see you when you get back," I'll go. But no, my truck's not allowed in Washington State. I got a few things modified to it that DOT standards say no. Not welcome over here.
I got you.
EPA related. So
Gary Schmidt says, as an automotive B tech, I was making about $400 a week with 3 years experience, hoping to make closer to $800 to $1,200 a week weekly within my first year driving. To me, 50 to 80K a year is good money. Well, you can definitely make that as a company driver. You know what I mean? That's not outlandish.
I heard the other day that average households are making $125,000 a year.
Husband and wife.
Husband and wife. So that's what's 50 some thousand a piece, 5250.
Yeah. Gary Schmidt says you don't make jack as an auto tech anymore. Was thinking about doing diesel tech and fixing trucks if I don't go the CDL route. Now this is something I want to hear. DJ Fika is funny. I feel you,
because I was a mechanic too. I mean, that was one of my first jobs whenever I was growing up out of high school was mechanics.
Yeah,
I had all these benefits and everything, but at the same time, I was still making $9-10 an hour. I mean, of course, a diesel tech or somebody like that's going to make $20-30 an hour. I guess it depends on who you work for.
Yeah.
If you work for Peterbilt, Freightliner, people like that, Carolina Kenworth, somebody that's real big, then you can make good money, and you'll have benefits too, and you'll be home every night. But you got to go through the bullshit to get to the gold.
Yeah, 100%. I would agree, man. We got a lot more comments on here, man.
I'm just gonna shut up. Come on,
no.
I
can't even get to them. I can't even get to. You said you want to do 10 more?
I said you do as many as you want. I said at least do 10 more.
I can't get to no more, man. It's a bunch more on here, man. We've been on here for an hour and a half, man. I know you need to get shut down, and shoot, I'm in the studio about a half hour from my house, man. I ain't going to work tomorrow though. Well, I ain't going to work till tomorrow evening. I ain't going out. The plant shut down Friday and yesterday and today. And they open back up tomorrow at 4. So I ain't going out first thing in the morning. So it's all good. But okay, how about this? We can do a few more. X-Red Assassin. How do recaps work? That's something that you can talk about right there.
Okay.
Wah.
I'm actually reading you guys' comments. That's where it went. So far this week, I have worked. Let me pull it up, the clock. And I'll show you guys. Screw it. I don't care. All right. Let me turn off this background filter.
Okay.
So here's my clock. Right now, I can start again at 5:20 in the morning. I'm trying to see my hours of service. Here we go. I have 39 minutes left for the day to drive, 39 minutes left on my shift because the 14 hours met the drive time. Does that make sense? I started with 70 this morning. So that means I worked 11 hours, about 10 hours and 19 minutes, right? So 8 days ago would have been Thursday, right? But no. 8 days ago would have been Sunday. Well, unfortunately, I didn't work Sunday. So there's 0 time right there that I'm going to gain back. See how that works?
Okay.
So tomorrow, I worked 8 hours, 44 minutes. So basically, I'm going to get back that 8 hours and 44 minutes because tomorrow is Tuesday. Last Monday, I worked 8 hours and 44 minutes. So I will get that 8 hours and 44 minutes back to my main clock right here.
Uh-huh.
So that's how recaps work. 8 days, whatever you done 8 days ago is what you get back on the 8th day. I mean, I hope that helps, but it takes a lot to know what you're doing and how that works. I mean,
is there a way to do your clock? And is there a right way and a wrong way to run your clock?
Some people, they are appointments only kind of guys, and they'll go in and clock in and stay on the dot clocked in the whole time. I'm the kind of guy that I will clock out immediately after 10 minutes of waiting on the clock. So I can kind of run through a few things on my logs for today. Let me do that. It just helped me explain a lot better. So Monday, here's the day, here's my clock. This morning I woke up, I started my pre-trip. Where's it at? Right there. I stayed on my pre-trip for 10 minutes this morning before I left my house.
Mm-hmm.
I drove for an hour and 31 minutes. And then when I got there, I clocked out because I was checking into the receiver.
Uh-huh.
And then I drove to park on the dock after I checked in with the receiver. and I went off duty again, but I actually edited that on duty right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I pushed my time back to make it look like I was only on the dock for 11 minutes when actually I was on the dock for, let's see, 8:16 to 8:25. You know what I'm saying? And then I clocked
Okay.
back out again at 8:36. So I mean, I was still there waiting. I powered back on at 9:07, but it doesn't show that I was working. It just said I was off duty. I was only working for 11 minutes.
Uh-huh.
So I'm saving time as much as I can in
Of
that little
course.
spot. And the reason why is because I knew, oh shit, I'm hitting the buttons. I knew that I was going to need all that time to get up here to Kentucky.
I
I
get
knew
that.
for a fact, and in the morning time,
And you're saying that some people won't clock out, won't take that few little minutes to clock
yeah,
back
they
out
don't.
like
Some
that?
people don't have to. I mean, they're like a local driver. He don't have to. He knows he's gonna be home in the bed every day.
Makes sense. Yeah,
You
makes
know what I
sense.
mean? But if you know that you've got so far to go all day long, like if I'm over in Baltimore, Massachusetts, I live in North Carolina, I know it's gonna be a 10-hour and 39-minute drive to the house, down straight down 81 to 77, blah blah blah. So there's going to be traffic in Carlisle, Pennsylvania along the way. It always is. Somewhere it's going to be construction. I know for a fact that I'm going to be wasting some time somewhere. So if I can go and clock out and save that time, like if I'm
Yep.
in a traffic jam and we're not rolling but 3 or 4 miles an hour, my clock's not going to kick in. It's not going to say I'm driving. It's not going to register on the log. So I'm going to
Uh-huh.
just clock out and roll steadily. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. 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 I understand
You
that.
just something you got to understand, something you got to learn on your own.
If I was having to run a clock, I'd be an expert at it. And the reason I know that is because I'm extremely, again, we're doing different things, but we're doing a lot of the things that I go through locally. Regional and OTR guys go through it as well. It's just on a regional and on an OTR level.
Right.
One of the things that I did in a video that I talked about a few weeks ago, a few mistakes that careless mistakes that owner operators or that people make. I talked in that video about how I went to the wrong location before. Now, when I talked about that mistake, I was talking about a mistake that I made. I was supposed to go to location A, but I accidentally went to location B thinking that, you know what I mean? Then I got there and figured out, but I didn't know for sure that mistake existed in the local or in the OTR in the regional world as well.
Oh, I've done that before.
Yesterday,
too, yeah.
I saw a post on Facebook. The dude said I left New Jersey, got to West Virginia, and when I got there, they told me I was supposed to be in Connecticut. I'm like, that does happen with OTR.
I've never
it's
been
the
that
same
far off,
exact
but
thing. Yeah.
I went to Chicago Heights when I was supposed to be in just Chicago down on some main street road, and I ended up downtown Chicago. And the dispatcher's like, "Bro, what the hell are you doing downtown?" I'm like, "This is the address you gave me." He's like, "No, you're supposed to be in
somewhere
Chicago,
else.
not
The hell you
Chicago
doing?
Heights."
Yeah. Like I said, man, if I was having to do a clock, I don't have to do it now, but I know that I would do it to a T because I'm extremely proficient with my time right now. Like I'm not doing it according to the clock, but I am thinking, okay, where am I going? Well, how long it's gonna take me to get there? How much traffic I expect to encounter? How sleepy I am? How long do I think I'm gonna have to sleep when I get there before I pull back off? You know what I mean?
10
Let me leave
hours.
myself a little bit of time to take a nap before I have to pull back. I'm thinking about all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I'm getting to the place and it's like, all right, let me grab this load. Let me grab this load first and get back on the other side of traffic before I pull over and go to sleep. I ain't doing that for the clock purposes. I'm doing that for other purposes. But like, if I was on the clock, I'd be thinking about all that same stuff. Okay, the shipper says I got to be there at such and such time. I see how much time I got now. I know how sleepy or not sleepy I am now. Let me go ahead and get down the road so I can get there a little bit early so I can make sure I'm there so I can clock out for, like, I would be running that joint to a T. I know I would because I do it to a T right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. I mean, everybody's schedule is different. It's just all about when the broker says be there at this time or that time, or the building closes at this time. I mean, you just got to know what you're doing, man.
My man.
I'm not dropping off tonight. I'm actually I'm going to sleep, and then I got to be there at 6:30 in the morning. So
yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm rushing you off because I got 10 hours. Shit, I can't do nothing for 9 hours and 40 more minutes. So I'll get my sleep. But you know what I'm saying? I started at 6:30 this morning.
100%, man.
You got to know how to manage your time.
My man, Fat Boy 261. That's my man Marcus, man. We met on YouTube as well. And I see him every so often. We saw each other at the mechanic shop the other week. I didn't know Marcus had been driving for 16 years. He said he wished he had became an owner operator a long time ago. Marcus, I know you probably still here, bro. I would love to for you to even talk about that, but we definitely are about to shut down right now, man. Chris, you've been on here for a minute. Chris, like I say, you've been driving for a minute, and I'm about 30 minutes from my house. I need to get down the road as well. So there were a lot of comments that I was not able to get to, and I really apologize about that. I tell you what, Chris is always down to hop on live with me. I just got to get my sugar honey iced tea together so that I can hop on as much as Chris is willing to hop on with my audience. You know what I mean?
And so, maybe you could get Marcus in here, Fat Boy in here with us one day.
100%, man. 100%. He got a beautiful, I've told you before, I like those. I don't know if I told you before, but I like eagles. I like international eagles. Yeah, he's got a real pretty teal green one. He's got a real pretty one. I got a chance to see it the other week. Yeah. It ain't tight as my truck, but you know, it's kind of pretty. But his joint look like it's a little bit more raggedy than my joint, man. I just messing with you, Marcus, man. Big dog. I just messing with you, big dog, Marcus.
I will say before we cut out, guys, this is not a job for everybody.
100%.
These guys out here are dogs. They will work you and talk to you like you're garbage, and you gotta, man or female. I mean, you gotta get out here and prove yourself, or otherwise they're gonna drive all over you.
Yeah.
And get a damn radio. God Almighty.
Yeah,
I got a CB.
I got one.
Not you.
Oh, I didn't know you got one. To me. Yeah,
I got two in case mine break. I got another one now.
Yeah. Your neck tight, man. I see you doing like this over there. Your neck a little bit tight.
Hell yeah, my whole back, my body tight. I'm ready to go eat too.
Dog, I went to the chiropractor today.
I bet you loose.
Yo, she put this thing on my neck, bro. I ain't never had, like, I knew the chiropractor was gonna pop my neck and do my back in the line and all that good stuff. And obvious as a driver, most drivers I would assume have neck and upper shoulder tightness and stiffness, maybe a nerve or something out of place or whatever, right? She put this freaking thing on my muscles to make my muscles relax. I ain't never felt nothing like this. It sends sensations and impulses through your muscles. So I can't even describe it, bro. She put, yeah. I'm trying to talk to her. She asking me questions, and I'm in the middle of answering. Yeah, you know that pain does. Yeah, and I'm like, what the? But she got me. That joint I got my muscles nice and relaxed and loose, man. And she popped my neck and she hooked me up, man. She got me right, man. So yeah, I'm feeling nice and loose now. Got plenty of mobility in my neck, man. Definitely. So I just want to throw that out there. I'm
still 30, so I don't know. I still feel like if I just move the right way, I'll just pop. Okay, we're good to go. You know what I mean? So give me a few more years, I might go start seeing a chiropractor.
Yeah, man.
I got legacy seats though, y'all. So this is the most comfort you could get in this thing.
I do not have those. I want me some. I would like to order some legacy seats for my international, man. Yeah,
so comfortable.
Yeah.
What's
different about those? Then they got lumbar support, or
definitely lumbar support, fully front, back, up and down. I mean, you got two armrests on the side. The cushion material, it's the actual cushion. It's more like a bucket. So I'm sitting here, you know, like I'm in my Mustang. You know, you got bucket seats. It wraps around your body, so it keeps you more together, I guess you'd say. And it's the cushions, man. The cushions really are, I don't know, it rides like a Cadillac.
Yeah.
And that's crazy calling a Freightliner a Cadillac, because they, freight shake, driver shake. I'm good.
That's what's up, man. All right, man. So shoot, as soon as I can get you back on here, I won't say soon. I don't want to like
whenever you down, man, just let me know.
But yeah, as soon as we can work it out, get you back on here. If any of you guys that are here, like just leave a comment on this video if you've been watching it. All of these comments that you guys left live won't show up on the replay, but like feel free to leave a comment on the replay, send me an email or whatever if you got something that you would like to hear us discuss specifically the next time we come on. Just let me know.
Or if we missed one of your comments and you guys have a question that we didn't get to, leave that on the replay and we'll come back and read them. I love reading comments.
Definitely, man. There's a lot here that I didn't get a chance to get through, to get to, and I apologize about that. And also go check out Chris Ward's channel. What's the name of your channel, Chris?
The space Chris Ward. Chris Ward's one word. CHRISWARD.
The Chris
Check me
Ward. It's
out.
not this the Chris Ward show.
I'll send you a link. You leave it in the description, I'm
That's
sure.
what's up. That's what's up. The Chris Ward. Go over there and check him out, man. I appreciate you, fam.
Ward. I appreciate you, bro. Have a good night, man.
Absolutely. Same to you. YouTube family, I appreciate all y'all for being here. Appreciate all y'all comments. Hope you guys found the video helpful. Before you click off, be sure to give Chris and myself a like. All right. Y'all take care. I'll holler back. Hold it down, Big Chris.
You too, man.